Hello everybody, welcome to stream today. Welcome to our Quarter 1 2026 Championship Tournament. I hope everyone's ready. We're going to be doing Regulation A today, which is basically just basic Pokemon. No Legends, no Apex, no Restricted, anything like that. No Terra, no Mega, just basic Pokemon. Joining me today here is my co-host, of course, OMG, he's styling, as usual. Welcome back in.
Thank you.
And once again, our tournament's going to be taking place on Showdown rather than in-game, just because of some of the limitations of Cobblemon. But for those just tuning in and new to our server, welcome. The name's Cobblemon Vulkan. Feel free to look us up on CurseForge. We have quite a few amazing builds, quite a few amazing little mechanics in our server, and we host monthly tournaments as well as quarterly championship tournaments. So definitely feel free to stop on by and see if you'll be the next one to take on our champion challenge. Silent, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm really interested in seeing how some of these teams play out. I mean, just looking at the first matchup here, there's a lot of variety that I'm seeing just between these two teams, which is great because our end of year championship tournament last year, there was a little lacking in the variety department. So it's good to see a bunch of variation.
Yeah, it definitely happens sometimes whenever you have especially like a sort of meta going on. Thankfully, our champion at that time really did bring a very interesting team last time around, sporting a Ho-Oh of all things, and actually won the tournament using that bird.
Yeah, absolutely, and against a team that was packing Mega Rayquaza too. What an absolutely show-out performance.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Showcasing his team on screen now. He was able to win with, obviously, like a pretty stacked team overall. We got Ogerpon, Stone Mask, we have Fluttermane, we have Ho-Oh. He had a Mega Metagross, Flamigo, and then finally a Farigiraf. Pretty stacked team overall, but was able to take it home against some pretty high up threats like Mega Rayquaza, and I think even some people brought like a Groudon as well, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think interestingly, I don't recall anyone bringing a Kyogre that tourney. It was Groudon and a lot of Mega Ray.
Yep, which is shocking because you always expect the rain teams,
Yeah, for sure. Rain teams always bringing the power, so really. Yep. It was really interesting not having that last time.
Absolutely. On the topic of their teams, let's go ahead and get into the team overview. Let's go ahead and check everyone's teams out. So, joining us today are our competitors, Coax Jean, also known as Legendary Crack Cocaine in-game, Doggos, which is a new player that has joined the server, Godkid, also known as GK, and Unbreakable, who's been around for quite some time, and I believe was he in our last tournament, if I remember correctly?
I think Unbreakable joined right before that tournament started,
right
and
before,
I don't think Unbreakable had a team together.
Gotcha. Well, I am very excited to see these teams go head-to-head. Let's go ahead and analyze these for just a moment before we get into things. So let's start with Coax. Looks like he's sporting I wouldn't even call it a sun, like I guess kind of a sun team. Torkoal really can get something off with Weather Ball Eruption, but everything else doesn't really seem like it's able to do much with sun in particular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really. I'm very curious what Coax's thought process was when putting this team together. There's a lot of very different picks.
I know Coax is a big fan of Gen 4, and it looks like this has definitely influenced his team quite a bit. That being said, I think maybe with Torkoal possibly shutting down the reason for Torkoal having Drought is to shut down other weather teams in case that there are any. If somebody happens to be doing like a sand team or a rain team, that kind of shuts that down by having something that can change it. It looks like a lot of it's going to focus on Dusk Noir having Trick Room and trying to proc off of that.
Yeah, Bronzong also has Trick Room, which explains the general lack of speed in the composition. Maybe we're just trying to get Trick Room up and then sweep from Trick Room.
Absolutely.
Which is a possibility.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on from Koak, we're going to go look at Doggos. Whimsicott, Hisuian Gudra, Hisuian Samurott, Hitmontop, Volcarona, and Corviknight. Pretty good team, but I definitely feel like there's going to be a little bit of weakness here, primarily with fire. Whimsicott and I believe Volcarona as well, and Corviknight are all weak to fire. Is that correct?
I'd have to pull up the double check on Volcarona. I think Volcarona is just 1x on fire. I think it's neutral. But Whimsicott and Corviknight are definitely both weak to fire.
Absolutely, yeah. With that being said, pretty good team overall. Again, for those just tuning in, this is going to be pretty much just basic Pokemon but doubles. So just keep that in mind whenever going into it. We kind of run some specific rule sets on Cobblemon Vulkan. We're running what we call Regulation A, which is essentially just that, is basic Pokemon as far as it goes. Just VGC. The only difference with that and actual VGC is that we run 6v6 with the actual teams, as opposed to bring 6, choose 4. So moving on from Doggos, Godkid, sporting another Sun team, which could, if he is prepared for Sun teams, it could actually work against Koak if he's prepared to shut down other teams, but if he's already going to be setting up Sun himself, that could definitely lead to some problems there. It looks like he's even prepared by having Whimsicott have Sunny Day just in case he's unable to set it up with Torkoal for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm a little curious. I'm a little curious with this team because there's definitely the Sun play going on, but we see another Trick Room on 2 Pokemon on this team, just like we did on Koak's team.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so it could very well be a kind of mirror match there whenever if they happen to go head to head. Taking a look at the bracket for just a moment to swap over here. First team is going to be... one moment. Let me go ahead and swap this real quick. There we go. Okay. It's going to be Unbreakable and Doggos going head-to-head immediately, and then we are actually getting the mirror match with Koak and Godkid immediately. So that's definitely going to be a first challenge for both of them, seeing how they pit against a team that's built pretty similar to the other one. Will they be able to kind of like piggyback off of the plan of the other person and try to like take it home themselves, or are they going to have to switch it up to try and go against even their own strategy?
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see the Trick Room matchup because obviously, like if you're speed tied, then Trick Room doesn't really matter so much. So it's going to be curious to see when and if they decide to pop that Trick Room, and who tries to take advantage of that first.
Absolutely. Moving on from Godkids, we have our final competitor, Unbreakable. Tyranitar, Excadrill, Goldengo, Incineroar, Clefable, Hawlucha. Once again, another weather team, but this time not sporting Sun. And it looks like he's also even got some investment in trying to go more into the weather stuff with Excadrill. Having Sandrush, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a nightmare of a team to go against offensively. He's not packing a whole lot of defensive capability from at least as far as I can tell, but the offensive prowess and the level of control on this team is kind of crazy.
I definitely do think that as for like control and a little bit of defense, Clefable is definitely good to kind of shut that down, but it almost makes you think that instead of like, I'm always a huge fan of, and you know this, of Eviolite Clefairy. Follow Me Eviolite Clefairy is one of my favorite little like Pokemon to put in with my Charizard with the Vulcan. So it's gonna be interesting seeing them kind of do a similar play with Clefable. We'll see if it works out as well, or if maybe it falters a little bit. But with that being said, it's our last team to go over. Let me check with the competitors real quick, make sure that they are ready to go.
Absolutely, and while you're checking with the competitors, I'll be right back.
Alright, just gonna go get some food. How are we doing today, stream? How's everyone going? I know me, for instance, I am very ready to get this underway and to start on, to start working on, all the different stuff that we've got going on in game. While he's going and doing that, let me go ahead and just kind of show you guys a little sneak peek of what we've got going on. So recently, we have started working on a lot of redoing some of the intro stuff. But in addition to this, we're also going to very soon be working on actually putting in the Elite Four and having them be challengeable, as well as having quests set up with those. And then, of course, we're trying our best to start working on the main story quest to try and get a little bit more oomph onto the server for players to kind of like sink their teeth into.
Okay, I am back.
Welcome back. I'm gonna go ahead and get the match going. Let me go ahead and get music up, and we'll be ready to go. All right, let me let them know to go ahead and start.
All right, let's do this.
All right, there we go. We'll see which one that they decide to throw out first. Definitely could be problematic, like I said, if that Incineroar comes out first, especially with the Intimidate. Doggos could definitely lead with the Hisuian Samurott, but that might also lead to a potential problem if shutting it down with Intimidate, and could give an issue to that Incineroar as well, just with the type advantage. But we'll see how it goes. What are your predictions?
Yeah, and with no quick switch move like U-turn on the Incineroar, other than, well, technically I guess there's Parting Shot. It's a little different. I'm curious if we even see the Incineroar lead. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we didn't actually. Leading with Clefable and Hawlucha against Whimsicott and Samurott. So Samurott could definitely do quite a bit here. Try and flip turn to switch out into something a little bit more advantageous. The Whimsicott automatically is probably going to go for Tailwind just to try and get that speed control.
Yep, and we're probably going to see an immediate follow me from this Clefable, and then this Hawlucha has so much potential to do damage to this Whimsicott.
Absolutely, yeah. Just adjust my music volume here for a moment.
Both competitors thinking very hard about their first move.
Definitely, yeah. There's not really anybody who has like the upper hand, at least with these four Pokemon. There's no real huge type advantages here. There is Hawlucha into Whimsicott, of course, but Whimsicott's going to be able to get whatever it needs to done immediately. Looks like they swapped the Volcarona, or swapped into Volcarona, kept the Whimsicott in, got Tailwind off, and then died, as I thought it would. And it looks like a Thunder Wave from the Clefable out of the Volcarona.
Yeah, paralyzed Volcarona, definitely a potential problem. That's definitely a hurdle you have to get over. Volcarona going second, not nearly as strong as Volcarona going fast. Fake out from the Hitmontop.
Yep, onto the Clefable, who immediately almost dies to Acrobatics. You know, sending out a fighting type against a flying type, not a good idea. Fiery Dance doing a good bit to Hawlucha, but not enough to take it down.
Yeah, Hitmontop is going to be in a swapper sack situation here. Volcarona's Fiery Dance not doing as much damage as I think Dagos would have hoped for there. I think he was really trying to get that Hawlucha off the board.
Absolutely, yeah. Just take it down immediately. I almost feel like it would be... Well, no, because the Volcarona's going to die to an Acrobatics as well. It looks like a swap into Hisuian Gudra. Follow me on the Clefable. Acrobatics almost takes out the Volcarona, and then a Fiery Dance, which was probably meant for the Hawlucha to take it down, goes into the Clefable instead, and those lefties get it up just a little bit more. It definitely shutting down Dagos' strategy.
Yeah,
another thing
to... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Another thing to know about Dagos' team is that due to him being new, and of course due to just a lot of other factors, he was unable to put items on all of his Pokemon. Heavy Slam into the Clefable is going to take it down right after the Volcarona got taken out by the Acrobatics.
Yeah, Hawlucha burned here, and also having its attack reduced makes it effectively doing no damage. Double
even
Intimidate on
more with the Intimidate.
That Hawlucha's either sack or switch here for sure, and even then, at 10% HP, I'm probably just tossing that Pokemon out and letting the next one come in.
Yeah, definitely swaps it out, gets the Intimidate off on that Hitmontop. I almost wonder if they would have been able to get an Acrobatics off on the Hitmontop before it went out, but you know, Shadow Ball is gonna definitely do the trick instead.
Corviknight hits the board, but Incineroar is out. That Flare Blitz probably looking pretty nice into the Corviknight.
Goes for a Fake Out instead onto the Gudra. Body Press onto the Incineroar, but heals up with its Citrus Berry. Definitely think that you are right. We're going to see a Flare Blitz into the Corviknight here immediately. If not into the Gudra, just to try and take it down, because it's currently at pretty high HP, and that thing can be a monster with Body Press. Or Heavy Slam, my apologies. Yeah, Brave Bird into the Incineroar, almost going to take it out. Shadow Ball doesn't do the trick. That Earthquake is going to do some good damage and take out Incineroar. Looks like God Kid is actually or not God Kid. Dagos is having a bit of a comeback here at the last of it. Of course, Corviknight is almost gone here, but we'll see what he's able to do with this this Hawlucha.
And Goldingo is choiced into this Shadow Ball here. It might be worth actually swapping the Goldingo out so that we can pull a different move. Instead, he's going to go down to Earthquake.
The Hawlucha stays in just barely on 4% with this burn. It is going down next turn. We're going to bring out the Samurai, and we're down. Dagos down to his last two Pokemon against I Am Breakable, who still has one full Excadrill in the background, ready to go.
Worth noting, this Hawlucha does have U-turn. So if he wants to try and save it for a sacrifice play,
a high jump kick into the Samurai. This Hawlucha just taking right before it goes out. Absolute crazy.
Even through the burn debuff.
Absolutely, yeah. Excadrill going to go ahead and join us out on the field. I think definitely this is the end of it. Stealth Rocks went ahead and got thrown out by Tyranitar. Not that it really needed it at this stage, but High Horsepower is going to do it for Hisuian Gudra.
Yeah, and Unbreakable, and then are we best of 3 on this tourney?
We are best of 3, yeah.
All right, so first round goes to Unbreakable, and yeah, that Tyranitar Excadrill combo that we were talking about earlier on, popping out right there at the end, and definitely doing some damage.
The Hawlucha was able to do a lot more than I expected of it.
The damage off of High Jump Kick through the burn debuff was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting that.
Yep. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, there we go. Next game, 2 of 3. Let me go ahead and get the next music going and let them know that we are ready to go. definitely could lead the same way. They kind of had a stalemate at the beginning there, where neither one was really sure how to approach. Like there were some good some tight matchups there, but not really to a good point. I think Doggo's definitely going to be considering not leading uh with Whimsicott this time around. It almost makes you think that if it can get Tailwind off before before this Hawlucha is able to take it out, then it might be able to get a Moonblast off as well and take that threat out.
Incineroar Hitmontop opening. Everybody's losing.
Everyone's losing attack, except for Corviknight. Not that Corviknight needs it due to body press, of course.
Right. Interesting. I almost thought we were just going to see the T-Tar Excadrill lead and just full offense here, but that's clearly not what happened.
Yeah, I definitely feel like with that Hitmontop being on the board, and it might have been what Doggos was expecting was that Tyranitar to hit the board, but with it being so frail to fighting, definitely a problem there. Fake out onto the Clefable, Iron Defense on the Corviknight just getting set up, and this Golden is going to go ahead and swap out from the Incineroar, just taking him in the back to be able to get that Intimidate off later on.
Yeah, for sure. And this Goldingo here out this time, I'm curious if we see more Shadow Ball off that choice.
Wide Guard gonna go ahead and hit.
There it is.
Or come out from them. Yeah, choicing into Shadow Ball once again, getting some good damage off on this Corviknight, paralyzing it while it can. Brave Bird able to do a little bit of damage, but of course not able to take it fully down. Clefable being such an absolute wall a lot of the time. Thunderwave gonna go ahead and shut down this Corviknight, but it really wasn't going that fast to begin with. I think the only thing that was really faster than it was Clefable, at least that's on the board right now.
Yeah, for sure. I'm wondering if we're going to see a Dazzling Gleam out of this Clefable onto this Hitmontop to try and get it off the board.
I feel like that's what the thought process was before. Samurott and Whimsicott. Shadow Ball going to do almost all of their attack. Life Dew.
Healing back up.
Yeah,
this kind of changes the landscape a little bit. Whimsicott is hurt here. Probably going to try and see that rush for the Tailwind, and out comes T-Tar.
Yep, gets the Tailwind off. Razor Shell on the T-Tar, taking it out. Bad switch in there. Shadow Ball's going to go ahead and take out Whimsicott. This choice definitely doing some work there. But of course, with Tailwind up, that Choice Scarf is only going to really put it in the second or in the third slot at most. Unless it is really fast, unless it's much faster than the second or first Pokemon.
Yep, Sand Rush Excadrill does hit the board in the sand. Unfortunately, it also gets hit with the Intimidate as it lands out.
Yep, high horsepower going to do almost a little over 50%, but that Razor Shell is just going to take it out. Exactly what I thought that they'd be afraid of with sending out that T-Tar Excadrill combo was just the fighting type and water type combo that Doggos has. Hawlucha, this absolute beast, hitting the board. Fiery Dance onto the Goldango is going to take it down from Volcarona. Razor Shell going to do all of Hawlucha's health, taking it out. Doggos is set up and ready to fucking go.
Yeah, Unbreakable is going to have to pull something out here to turn this around. 2 Mons to 5 is a rough spot to be in.
No, I think that this is it, dude. Clefable doesn't really have much offensive power, especially against the team that Doggos is running. And Incineroar, even though it is quite a strong Pokemon, especially with that Intimidate now, I don't think it's going to be able to do too much. Fake out onto the Hitmontop's not going to do that good. Dazzling Gleam's going to do a good little bit, but I definitely feel like the Hitmontop was sent out because of Wide Guard to just make sure to shut down any sort of spread moves there. So Clefable doesn't really have anything available now. Shuriken, Thunderwave, Life Dew, stuff like that, and try and stay up a little bit longer. Fake out onto the Incineroar is going to keep it going. Follow me, Fiery Dance. Yep, and that Sandstorm's just chipping away. Definitely feel like this Hitmontop's going to run Wide Guard this time, just to make sure that Clefable is shut down. Fiery Dance onto the Clefable, just in case, going to take it out. And Close Combat on the Incineroar is going to do it for Game 2.
Wow, what an absolute What an absolutely different outcome from what we saw in Game 1. Crazy, just how strong this team is without having all the items for the Pokemon kind of makes me really curious as to what the full build would have been if Dagos had been able to put items on.
Absolutely, yeah. Huge comeback there. Honestly, I definitely feel like he kind of got the lock in on there, but it could also, we'll see if it was just happen to be beginner's luck with this next match. We're going into game 3 here.
Yeah, the unfortunate part about how that game 2 went is now the threat potential for Samurott is absolutely recognized by Unbreakable. So if he was sleeping on that Pokemon, he probably won't be this time.
Absolutely, yeah. Being that I'm pretty sure that this variant is Water Dark, so it kind of does really shut down a lot of Unbreakable's team. Tyranitar being with the water, Excadrill, Goldango even being with the Dark, There's a lot there that could easily shut it down just with Samurott, so I feel like that's going to be a huge target on that Pokemon this time around. We'll see if Dagos decides to lead with it, just to make sure that it shuts down anything and possibly kind of makes Unbreakable shaking his boots a little bit.
Yeah, another thing worth mentioning that we didn't point out before, Unbreakable's team is very physical attacker heavy. With its only real special threat being Goldango. Clefairy obviously also a special attacker, but it clearly doesn't seem to be spec'd into special attack, whereas it's more likely is set up to be a wall with its IV-EV training. So yeah, that Intimidate is really nasty into Unbreakable's team.
Yep, speaking of which, Hitmontop going to go ahead and come into Excadrill and Tyranitar. Decides to lead with that instead, which thankfully they're able to get the Sand Rush off and not have this Whimsicott on the board to shut it down with Tailwind. I definitely feel like it's going to be joining us here on the board very soon, to be able to try and shut that down. Protect on the T-Tar just in case. Wide Guard from the Hitmontop just in case they decide to EQ. Rock Slide. Gonna go ahead and shut down that strat because of Wide Guard. And then, of course, a Fiery Dance gonna take out Excadrill because of the Steel type. So, pretty good lead from Doggos.
Alright, Unbreakable starting this one off on the back foot. Let's see if he can bring it back. Out comes Goodra.
Yep, close combat onto the Clefable. I think he kind of expected it to come out to try and be able to get some good damage off, but of course it being it's normal Fairy or just Fairy, if I remember right. No, Clefable got switched to straight Fairy. So yeah, close combat not going to do a whole lot of damage. That was probably meant for T-Tar. But, with Clefable joining us out on the field, definitely shutting that down with close combat. Hawlucha and Goldango going to go ahead and join us on the field. Wide Guard coming out, but not really blocking anything. That Heavy Slam almost taking out Hawlucha. Unbreakable's really got to be careful about his switches here. Doing a double switch like that's very risky because it puts whatever Pokemon that you're throwing out on the back foot. You almost think that you should have probably just sacked Tyranitar there to be able to bring one of those Pokemon out a little bit more safely.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, he read the Wide Guard, I think, and that's why he thought that switch was on the safer side. And then Hawlucha did survive and was able to put damage down range, so at least he got something out of it.
Yeah. On that note as well, Acrobatic's going to take out Whimsicott immediately before it can even get Tailwind set up. So now we're going to have to see Doggo's team without Tailwind support. Volcarona going to get absolutely shredded by these fucking stones.
Yeah, Volcarona 4 times weak to rock. It's a very bad look into Stealth Rock.
As a Charizard main, I know the sadness.
Alright, Incineroar hits the board, Intimidate goes out, Fake Out onto Goodra.
Fake Out onto Goodra, Shadow Ball into Volcarona, almost takes it out, but not quite. That Fiery Dance is going to do it, though. Really was looking for the kill there, but didn't get it. However, the Sandstorm is going to take Volcarona out at the very end. With that flinch, almost feels like, he's wanting to definitely see that Goldango, make it to the end. But
yeah, it's really interesting to me seeing this Goldango staying in once it's been locked into Shadow Ball, rather than having it swap out and then bringing it back in later to make use of moves better for certain situations. Because if that had been a Power Gem instead of a Shadow Ball, that would have been an absolute murder on the Volcarona without question.
Absolutely. Crunch on the Goodra almost going to take it out. Flare Blitz almost going to take out Corviknight. And then the EQ going to absolutely wipe out this D-Tart. Clefable and Incineroar on the board. Once again, we're down to two Pokemon that just really don't have any much offensive capabilities. Mostly just support. Incineroar almost goes down to Body Press. Life Dew takes them up just a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough to really keep them around. Heavy Slam. Yeah, Heavy Slam almost going to take out Clefable. But they get a good kill off on Corviknight with Flare Blitz. That Intimidate's definitely going to hurt, though.
Yeah, I don't like to write people out before we see the definitive answer, but I don't really see a way for Unbreakable back into the game.
Knockoff on the Goodra going to take it out. We do have Samurott and Hitmontop on the board now. Incineroar doesn't have any sort of Protect, so can't really play any games with that. Yeah, we're going to go to a flip turn into the Clefable, taking it out, and then a close combat onto the Incineroar, and that is going to be it.
Very, very, very intense match. All three games kind of crazy. Congratulations to Doggos for pulling that one out.
Yeah, congrats. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the finals, man. Let me go ahead and set the scores here. Yeah, Doggo's going to join us in the finals. Moving on to our next match, let me go ahead and make sure that that Koak and Godkid are ready.
What an insane just series of games. Game 1 being very close right up to the end with Unbreakable pulling it out with just 2 Pokemon left. Game 2 being a little more on the one-sided part in favor of Doggos, but then Game 3 being almost a repeat of what happened in Game 1, but for the opposite team this time, with Doggos pulling out the win with just 2 Pokemon left over Unbreakable. That was a very, very, very entertaining match to open up the tournament with, for sure.
Absolutely. With Doggos not having items on all of his Pokemon, it almost makes him the underdog in this tournament. With a lot of people, expecting he's gonna go down pretty quick. But I don't think that he is, with how he's piloting his Pokemon. I don't think he's to be underestimated. Even with this sort of handicap, it might just go to prove in his favor that he's still, even with that, he's still able to pull out and get some good headway.
Yeah, and like you mentioned with that Samurott, extremely helpful. That Samurott's typing going into Unbreakable's team, I think that was a big factor, as well as, like I mentioned before, just the reliance on physical damage from Unbreakable kind of being shut down by the way that Doggos was piloting that Hitmontop.
Yeah, and of course having 2 Intimidate users, it's pretty easy to be able to, send them both out and get both of those Intimidates off. But with there not really being any sort of special, other than Goldango on Unbreakable's team, really problematic for him because that Intimidate really has a lot more mileage on his team than it did on Doggos's.
Yeah, 100%. Either way, good battle, and then looks like we have a link for our second matchup.
Yep, let me go ahead and get them up right now. Oh, empty room. Is this actually the one?
Yeah, it is. It took a second for me to load in, too.
Got it, okay. Let me go ahead and get music going for the next one.
Now, my big question with this one, do we see double Torkoal?
That's going to be really fucking funny right at the beginning. Once again, talking about their teams as well, Koak doesn't really have much to go off of with the Torkoal, and Godkid kind of does a little bit more with the Whimsicott having Sunny Day, but there's not really anything on his team as well that can really benefit from that fire as well. So really, I think that a lot of the plan for both of them with drought was to make sure that it shut down the other person, in case they happen to run any other type of weather.
Yeah, for sure. Predictions for looks like they're gonna reset.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea because for some reason the code just is not working.
Yeah, someone forgot to turn the timer off, so they decided to reset it. So
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, just speculating about leads here. We could see Torkoal and Whimsicott looking for that Heat Rock boosted drought plus the Prankster Whimsicott out to get some action happening for setup. But also very likely we could also see something like Torkoal Hatterene, with Hatterene having Magic Bounce, maybe trying to anticipate the Bronzong lead from Koak, bounce those Stealth Rocks back to the other team.
Yep, absolutely. And that would definitely be a good play to be able to shut that down. That being said, he could also lead, if he's intimidating that or expecting that that Hatterene could lead Dusknoir, and regardless of which one sets up Trick Room, if whoever's able to get some good mileage on that, we'll see. But at that point, Trick Room's not going to matter as much because everyone's going to kind of be on the same level field,
Yeah, I almost think that we might not see Trick Room at all in this battle, just because you're basically on the same playing field with Trick Room up as you are without it, since both teams play around Trick Room.
Yeah, absolutely. Question for you is, so I'm noticing that again it's still just showing blue on my screen without the Pokemon being shown.
It is looking for me. Let me shoot you the link directly and see if it helps.
Yeah, see if that helps.
In worst case scenario, maybe switch browsers, or I can just share my screen to you for this one.
Might be a good idea, honestly, to just do that. Go ahead and share screen. We'll get this going.
All right, there we go.
All right, there we go. A little bit different, but here we go.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't expecting anyone to be watching my screen.
You were completely fine. It's a little unorthodox, but it is what it is.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and let them know they.
Yep. Just let them know. So now we are in. Definitely could lead. I definitely think that you are right on the money with leading Hatterene to try and be able to shut down those Stealth Rocks, but could also maybe be intimidating or expecting something that maybe we don't. Torkoal and Trevenant gonna hop on the field along with the Bronzong Honchkrow.
Very interesting.
Honchkrow is, of course, leading with. Let me look here. Honchkrow not sporting Tailwind. Brave Bird into the Trevenant, going to take it out immediately.
Stealth Rocks goes downrange.
Yep, Stealth Rocks from the Bronzong going to go ahead and hit the board. Torkoal's able to get a little bit of damage off with Flamethrower, but not quite take out the Bronzong, even with Sunup. And Goodra going to go ahead and hit the board as well. And of course, who better to sport the Cynthia skin than Koak?
True.
Gen 4's #1 leader.
Let's see. Curious on the Goodra switch. I almost wonder if it wasn't just due to the Stealth Rocks. Goodra goes down immediately.
Superpower from the Honchkrow going to come out and just take out that Goodra. EQ gonna do some good damage from the Bronzong, but only take it down to about 75%. And gonna go ahead and get an opposing Stealth Rock on the board. Hatterene coming out, but not really able to get as much mileage as it maybe would have if it came out earlier. We talked about it a little bit where that Magic Bounce probably would have really helped out there.
Yeah, 100%. I was super surprised not to see the Hatterene lead, just on the chance that Bronzong came out.
Yep, Superpower into the Torkoal, only going to deal about 20%. It's going to make that Honchkrow even more frail than it already is. And that Dazzling Gleam's going to prove it, because it's going to take out both the Bronzong and the Honchkrow. Just getting them taken care of.
Okay. 2 Mons down for both sides now. Out comes Dusknoir. Out comes Rampardos.
Yeah, we haven't seen a Trick Room just yet. Once again, this isn't really the team to be doing it against, and so it kind of puts both of them on a bit of a back foot of like, if that was their strat, there's not really a strat to be had here. You know, again, with both teams really sporting a lot of very slow Pokemon.
Yeah, I wager to guess we probably won't see a Trick Room. Let me see.
Rock Slide almost taking out both Pokemon. And that Poltergeist is going to do it for Hatterene. Flamethrower not really able to do too much. The Dusknoir taking it only down to about 50%. Other than Ursaluna, this is kind of Godkid's final really offensive Mon on his team. Koak kind of has a good advantage here with some of the Pokemon that he has. He can very easily bring out Breloom here to just shut this Ursaluna down.
Absolutely. Ursaluna not covering or not carrying any mass damage moves. Pretty much limited to single target here.
Ooh, and an Ice Punch from Dusknoir into that Protect, but happens to be sporting that as well, so it can do some good damage against it. And that burn on the Ursaluna, but with Guts, is definitely going to help it out with its damage. But we'll see if it's able to get some good headway here. I'm not sure. Yeah, of course, Whimsicott's going to be faster to get that energy ball off, but it's definitely faster than Dusknoir. Is able to get that high horsepower, but being slower than that Rampardos is really going to be problematic.
Yeah, I think at this point, if we're going to see a Trick Room, it's going to be this turn from Whimsicott to try and get Ursaluna to get that speed advantage over Rampardos. That
is true, but that Torkoal is going to definitely be slower. Instead goes for the Energy Ball to just take out Rampardos. High horsepower on the Torkoal, going to take him out. However, we're now at an impasse. We have Whimsicott with some fairy moves, with Breloom on the other side with grass moves. So, could very easily take out this Ursaluna. I'm expecting a Protect on the Ursaluna to be able to protect against whatever Breloom's going to throw out, possibly a Seed Bomb. Mach Punch going to immediately take it out. That Energy Ball not going to do a whole lot. Is Whimsicott sporting any sort of fairy moves?
Whimsicott has only one attacking move, that being Energy Ball. This might very well be Breloom's game. Koak might just snatch victory away here.
On a sub 2. Sub 2 with Poison Heal from the Toxic Orb. Yep, this is definitely a tragic last thing on Godkid's side, but a good play from Koak to be able to take out that last Pokemon on Godkid's team before saving the Breloom in the back.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Koak trying to decide whether or not he wants to use another substitute here. Personally, we saw it looked like substitute. I think lasted 2
Encore.
rounds.
So now it is locked into Mach. So we'll see if this Poison Heal's enough to be able to withstand these Energy Balls. It does look like it. And no Moonblast from that. Yeah, both teams just kind of chipping away at each other. Encore has ended, so if Koak wanted to, it could very easily go into another sub.
There it is.
Yep, and there it is. We'll see how much headway that they're able to gain on this, though, because, of course, it takes quite a bit of HP, and they don't really have a whole lot to spare anymore.
Very much true. Breloom... Oh, no. Breloom locked into substitute.
Oh no, it's locked into sub due to the Encore.
Yep.
Yep. These Energy Balls really smacking it. We'll see how much longer it lasts. This Poison Heal really kind of helping him out anyways. Mach Punch gonna go ahead and come out now that Encore is ended. At this point, it is just kind of a chip away from both teams. Whimsicott down to 18%, and this Breloom really sticking in with this Poison Heal, almost all the way back up to 60.
Yep, one more Mach Punch, and it's game over for game 1.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Godkid's especially going to be saving this Torkoal for this Breloom to be able to take it out on this next match, I feel. Just because, Koak definitely showed how much of a threat it really can be.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know, man. I might lead, if I'm Godkid, I might lead Hatterene Whimsicott.
I think that's the best play, honestly, in my opinion.
Oh, they can go ahead and start?
Yep, they can go ahead and start. We are ready to go.
Fighting on leads at the moment. And then with that same mindset, if I am Koak, I'm probably not leading Bronzong this time around. Just to switch it up a little bit, I might lead Dusk Noir.
Yeah, that's a good call. Maybe get that Trick Room off immediately, but with Godkid's team having that Ursaluna there, probably not a good idea actually to make it faster than everything else.
Yeah, unfortunately, for the luck of my guess there, they just went same leads this time.
Yeah, same exact leads. I'm genuinely wondering what they're thinking with this. Protect on the Trevenant to protect against that Brave Bird, calling it this time. Stealth Route coming out, and that Flamethrower taking Bronzong down to about 30%. So pretty good first round on Godkid. Gonna go ahead and swap out for the Hisuian Gudra. A Brave Bird into it, expecting it. But of course, gonna take that damage from the rocks. Gets the Earthquake off, which damages the Torkoal, but not enough to take it out. Flamethrower gonna knock it off. Kind of a bad play to have gone EQ there, since I actually don't think it was effective at all against oh no, at this point does it affect Bronzong? I thought Bronzong had Levitate.
Bronzong does have Levitate.
Okay, so it just hurt Torkoal.
Yeah, Bronzong was the one using Earthquake.
Oh, apologies. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was expecting the Gudra. EQ coming out from the Rampardo is going to take Gudra all the way down and almost do in Torkoal. And this body press going to hit both the rough skin and the rocky helmet.
Rocky helmet.
Yep. Take some damage from there. Does Rampardos? No, Rampardos has the one that makes its head moves do more.
Yep. And then we see Hatterene Ursaluna come out. Superpower onto the Ursaluna. Ursaluna lives it. Unfortunately, oh no,
yep,
Rock Slide
barely. Oh, but that double flinch. Oh, and
super unlucky.
That's terrible. Double flinch is hard.
That's look, to quote my dude Zuko, that's rough, buddy.
Yeah. Pursuit on the Hatterene, gonna go ahead and crit take it out just to make sure. This Honchkrow was really kind of a nasty bird. Rock Slide from Rampardos gonna just take out the Ursaluna. Not really much offensive capabilities on Godkid's team to withstand much else. Whimsicott's able to get some stuff off, but I'm not sure really how much Trevenant can do.
Yeah, I think Brave Bird, a Brave Bird for each pretty much seals the deal on this match, I think.
Yep. Rampardo's probably going to just kind of hang out on the side there. Brave Bird going into the Whimsicott, taking it out immediately. And a Rock Slide almost takes out the Trevenant. Citrus Berry gets it up a little bit, and a Dream Punch going to go ahead and take out the Honchkrow. Just for that last little bit of HP. Oh, and it harvested the Citrus Berry. Godkid could be up to something here. I don't know how much it's going to be able to be up to with only Shadow Claw, Drain Punch, Horn Leech on a Torkoal, but there it goes.
There it goes. Game 2 goes down. That double flinch kind could have honestly been the thing that saved the game for Koak here. Wow. Absolutely clutch double flinch. I have nothing else to say.
Yeah, no. Koak kind of already had that in the bag, but that kind of definitely sealed the deal there at the very end.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I will keep the stream up just in case.
No, I figured out what it is. I have to log in. I don't know why it wasn't wanting to display before, but yeah. Next up, we go ahead and go over to our bracket here. Take a look. Next one is going to be between Koak and Doggos. And just a reminder, everybody, after this match, after this best of 3, the winner of this will go against our current champion, Dream. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're looking at with these teams coming up. Doggos has already shown that he was able to get some good headway with the Sasui and Samurai, and really pilot this Hitmontop with Intimidate pretty well. All things considered, with not having any or like a full team with items. And then Koak. Koak just proved that this Honchkrow and Breloop combo are absolute monsters. Bronzong able to get out those Stealth Rocks immediately is possibly going to be problematic for Doggos' Volcarona especially.
That's very true, but on the flip side of that, we're seeing the similar problem to what we had in the other matchup that Doggos was in against Unbreakable, where the majority of Koak's team is very heavily reliant on physical attacks. The only special attacker on that team is Torkoal.
Yeah, that is true, and it is a Torkoal. So that Intimidate is really going to see a lot of value.
This is going to be an interesting one. Trick Room could do some work here.
Yeah, it very well could. Doggos definitely has a pretty fast team here.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just asked for it. I was just thinking that we were still waiting for the link.
Yep. Just making sure that they get it sent over. I know he said ready. He might be waiting on Doggos to send the link.
Yep, there's a link.
Okay, cool.
All right, I am in.
Yep, let me go ahead and log in real quick. There we go. Alright, this is the final match. Or this will be the final best of 3. Once again, we saw quite a bit come out from Koak before, with him piloting this Breloom Honchkrow combo. With Trick Room is going to be pretty hard for Doggos if he happens to get it up. So I definitely feel like prime suspect to kill is going to be that Dust Noir pretty quick, but it is a pretty beefy Pokemon.
Yeah, that Samurott again. Posing a lot of problems potentially for Koak's team, so Koak's going to want to get that thing out of there as fast as possible.
Yep, Samurott and Whimsicott hitting field along with the Honchkrow Dust Noir. Definitely going to see a Brave Bird come out from that Honchkrow into the Whimsicott. Dust Noir, I feel like, is going to be really itching to get this Trick Room off immediately. Tailwind from the Whimsicott, and a Ceaseless Edge onto the Honchkrow. Not going to take it out, but almost. Superpower going to, however, completely take out the Samurott. And of course, Trick Room does go up.
Okay, now we're looking at something spicy. I don't know. With attack being cut in half, I'm not sure a Brave Bird will be enough for Whimsicott.
Fake out on the Honchkrow, gonna almost take it out, but not quite. And that Moonblast not gonna really do a whole lot of damage. Ooh, click the wrong move too. That's unfortunate.
It's pretty unlucky. Honchkrow again at 1% here.
Yeah, it's likely gonna throw out one last Brave Bird and just be done. But there's not really anything that he can swap into that Whimsicott. Guja's probably gonna take some massive damage here. Ice Punch gonna do a little bit. Actually, no, goes into the other side. Brave Bird's gonna take out that Honchkrow.
Brave Bird into Corviknight was a decision that I did not see coming.
Well, definitely switch there, yeah. Rampardos comes out on the field, probably to get some good damage off on that Corviknight. Yeah, especially with the speed being swapped here to Trick Room, and Tailwind really kind of fucks Doggos over. Everything's going to be faster. Hammer Arm into the Gudra is going to take it out. And a Thunder Punch onto that Corviknight is going to do some good damage. Body Press not enough to really take out the Rampardos.
Out comes the Hitmontop. And here's that Intimidate play that I was talking about before.
Mm-hmm. Fake out onto the Rampardos, going to do a little bit of damage, but not quite, just to be able to take it off the board for just a minute. Brave Bird going to do some good damage, but once again, Dust Noir is a tanky bitch.
Trick Room goes down, so we're probably going to see the momentum shift in a big way here, as Tailwind is still up.
Tailwind was still up for one turn. I believe it's down now, but even then, like, come to think of it, does Doggos even need Tailwind on his side? I feel like that was kind of a bad play on Doggos' side, because I genuinely feel like he is, if not almost faster, like completely faster than everything that Koak has on his team. His team being completely built around Trick Room.
It's very possible if Koak tanks, if Koak just did not invest in speed for anybody, it's very possible that everything on Doggos' team just naturally outspeed.
Yeah, and similarly enough, though, Doggos' team does have some pretty slow Pokemon on it. Ooh, Eruption gonna take out both Pokemon there. And gets another Stealth Rock down to completely wipe out that poor Volcarona. Not a whole lot on Doggos' team to be able to withstand this onslaught. Stun Spore gonna go into Torkoal, but miss. And that Eruption is just gonna take it out.
Wow. Way to go, Koak.
Yeah, Koak just sweeping this. If I remember right, he was in our most recent monthly melee as well, and he really did some good headway with that one as well. I don't know which team he happened to be piloting.
For sure. All right, waiting for leads this time. Wow, the Torkoal coming in super clutch there at the end.
Yeah, that Torkoal's a monster when it's ready to. I'm curious to see if he happened to invest like full special attack into this thing. Obviously like 0 speed, full special attack. You know, wonder if the rest was put into HP or just full defenses. Whimsicott and Samurott going to join us on the field along with Rampardos Bronzong. You know, Samurott really got fucked over by this Honchkrow last time with Superpower.
Yeah, for sure. Curious to see if we get a different result this time. Protect comes up.
Goes for a Tailwind again. Flip turn not going to be able to do anything, and then of course gets the Trick Room off on the Bronzong. With that Tailwind, not really a good play.
Yeah, and now, like we had said before, with this Trick Room up, everything Koak has, especially with Tailwind active, is just going to be outspeeding anything that Doggos can put on the board.
Yeah,
and then
Gyro Ball, Hammer Arm, yep, gonna do it.
Rampardos' speed just got cut even lower, which is gonna make it even faster in Trick Room.
Yeah, crazy use of Hammer Arm there as well to get as much value out of Trick Room as possible. Fake out onto the Rampardos, gonna knock it out for this round. Stealth Rock goes ahead and comes out from Bronzong, just anticipating that Volcarona later on. Iron Defense on the Corviknight just to try and hold out as long as it can and to be able to get as much value off on Body Press. Gyro Ball onto the Hitmontop and then the Rock Slide, gonna deal a little bit of damage, but not quite.
Rampardos goes down. Hitmontop now at 10% HP with double defense drops. Or I
Ooh,
should say,
wait.
defense
He
buffs
could
on
do
both.
something really good here. He has wide guard. If Coax immediately going for the eruption play, wide guard's going to shut that down.
There it is. There's
Yep,
the wide
there's
guard.
the wide guard,
eruption.
there's the eruption. Protects his team completely. Allows Corviknight to get a body press off, but it's not enough to take out Torkoal. Twisted Dimensions are now back to normal. Of course, Coax still sporting 2 Pokemon with Trick Room. Could easily get it set back up. He might be looking to swap out this Torkoal potentially for something else, but that Pursuit's going to take out the Hitmontop. If it's going to shut down one more eruption here, that's going to be it for it. Goes for a Weather Ball instead. Takes out the Corviknight, just anticipating that wide guard.
Man. Out comes Volcarona to just get shredded by Stealth.
Absolutely shredded. Yeah, Goodra and Volcarona are going to go ahead and join us out on the field. Not really a whole lot that Doggos can do. You know, he saw some good potential with this team, but Coax team is built hyper offensive when it comes to slow moving Pokemon, and going with Tailwind was just a bad play here.
Yep, and I think we're going to see Protect on the Torkoal here to keep it alive, while Dusknoir tries to set Trick Room. Doggos' best chance at winning this is going to come with doubling into this Dusknoir and just taking it off the board, so that this Trick Room cannot hit the field.
Absolutely, but here's the thing as well, though. I don't think that this Dusknoir has a lot going for it, or has a lot going for it offensively. But even then, like, it's pretty defensive. I don't think that even if they doubled into it, it would have taken it out. Instead, they doubled into the Torkoal, and of course, nothing happened. Eruption going to go ahead and come out, wipes out the Volcarona, and then Ice Punch is going to do in that Goodra a little bit more. EQ going to do some good damage, but not enough to take it out. And a Weather Ball going to be the thing to finish it.
Good game from both competitors there. Excellently played by Koak. Koak really showing that he was prepared for this tournament and knows this team inside and out. Not a lot of misplay coming from Koak's side of the board in either of these matches so far.
Absolutely, yeah. Let me go ahead and let Koak and Dream know that we're going to take a brief intermission as we go over Dream's team as well, and show that off.
Yeah, and then are we gonna interview our reigning champion before this match starts?
Yeah, I think we definitely should. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and let this match play out on stream for just a moment while I do something real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, yeah, I just sent Dream a message to join us in call as our previous champion. Yeah, last match was definitely a pretty good one. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Team Dream has decided to sport this time around, shall we?
Yes, but as always with every team that Dream brings to these tourneys, we've got to read off these nicknames.
Oh, of course, yeah. Alright, let's see what we got. Last time it was Bird I Hate. He later on retconned that because Ho-Oh won him the championship tournament into Bird I Love. Taking a look here, we have Ursaluna, Scary Gary, Corviknight, I Love Birds, Iron Hands, Heavy Hands, Indeedee, Whimsical, Dondozo Raid Boss, and Tatsugiri Freddy the Fish. Which is very Kind of a deep cut meme there. For fucking Freddy Fish.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolute amazing little call out there. Very much looking forward to seeing him join. Hey, Dream, welcome in. Sorry, I didn't hear you join because of the stream thing. How are we feeling today?
Oh, I'm feeling a little nervous, but always have some pre-battle jitters. But other than that, I'm feeling great.
All right,
Good to hear.
Absolutely. Have you enjoyed the previous matches so far?
Oh wow, there's been some very interesting happenings. A lot of luck involved. I just hope the luck goes my way. In this one, it's gonna be nice. I'm so excited. Coax got a great team.
Are you a little worried about Trick Room? Actually, you wouldn't even be worried about Trick Room due to a lot of your Pokemon being genuinely slow. How about his hyper offensiveness? Are you worried about any of that?
I think if I can chip the Torkoal, I'm in good shape. That's
Okay.
really the thing that I know I need to do is just chip the Torkoal, make sure it doesn't get free eruptions, and go from there. I think I have the capability to do that, so that's what I have to lean on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let me go ahead and let y'all know that we're ready. Go ahead and send us the code whenever, and go ahead and pop back down into to the other chat, and we'll interview you after we're fully done.
Absolutely, sounds good.
All right, take care.
All right. Yeah, Dream's team. Man, every time Dream joins a tournament, the team is just covered in variety. I don't think I've ever seen Dream bring the same set of Mons twice.
No, absolutely, and he always tries to pick something a little bit niche. This team's a little bit more streamlined and a little bit more meta than I'm used to from him. But he's still got some pretty good Pokemon on this team. You know, some pretty solid ones. You know, Guts, Flameward, Ursaluna, Citrus Berry, Corviknight with Mirror Armor, just shut any of that down. Any stat changes. Salt Vest, Iron Hands instead of going with Booster Energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know me, Assault Vest is my favorite item in the game.
Yep.
So I always love seeing it.
Funny enough, we actually, I think one of the most recent championship tournaments for actual Pokemon VGC saw, I think, 8th place was taken by somebody who ran a Toxic Orb Tatsugiri set with Dondozo, leading it with a Cresselia, if I remember correctly.
Interesting.
Yeah, waiting on them to get the link sent over. Noted, Dream is also running a Trick Room team as well, with Indeedee Female.
Yes, so the Trick Room advantage to Koak from that last game, probably not going to be such a factor this time around.
Absolutely, and I also remember that Koak was actually one of the underdogs whenever people were talking about the team sheets when they came out a week ago, of them saying, you know, hey, without Trick Room, you're going to be in for it. But he's piloted it really well. Even without Trick Room on that first game, he really took it away.
Yeah, the way Koak played in that first game was absolutely stupendous. Like I said, the amount of misplay from Koak has been extremely low in this tournament so far. So I think Koak's been practicing this team pretty hard leading up to the tournament, because he seems to know it inside and out exactly how he wants to do it.
Exactly, yeah, and of course, like, everybody's team sheets were shown before, like like about a week ago, including Dream. So everyone's had access to these teams like from the get-go.
About a week ago.
All right, leading into the last one, let me go ahead and swap back over to the match screen.
Did Koak change teams? That Honchkrow and that Breloom are not shiny. Or is that Bronzong?
No, you are right. Let me go ahead and check with that real quick.
Oh, no, there they are. Okay. The preview was just malfunction.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Okay, cool. So we are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and lead with Iron Hands as well as the Indeedee. Psychic Terrain hits the field along with his Rampardos and Bronzong to shut down any... I believe that shuts down any Prio moves, correct?
Yes.
Alright, then yeah.
Which, just looking at it really quickly, I don't really see any priority outside of Protect. So.
Yep, of course. Let's see. I expect, Dream probably wants to get Trick Room up here, or, might have thought of it, but at the same time, both teams are kind of good in Trick Room. I'm going to immediately swap out for Ursaluna. Gets the Drain Punch off and takes out that Rampardos. The Flame Orb's going to go ahead and hit. Yep, Trick Room does come out from the Bronzong, but is it really going to be able to do a whole lot? That Ursaluna is really going to get some headway off of this.
Yeah, and that Guts boost coming in just as Trick Room goes up too, it's a scary position to be looking at that from the other side of the board.
Absolutely. Breloom joining us out on the field, not really the fastest mod in Trick Room. I actually think that it's probably around mid-speed, so this is probably one of the worst plays that Koak could have done. EQ going to come out from Bronzong and kind of do like middling damage to everybody. Facade, though, going to go ahead and do not middling damage to Breloom and take it out.
Yeah, Guts boosted Facade, been messing people up since Gen 3, baby.
Yep, and Koak immediately says, "I'm dumb in chat." But that is okay, we all make misplays sometimes.
You can blame it on me, I jinxed you. The Torkoal hits the board, Sunny Day comes up.
Sunny Day comes up, sure. Dream said that he was very worried about this Torkoal, but said also, as long as he can get it down, that Weather Ball Gyro Ball, though, is going to completely, knock out this fucking Ursaluna. Just balls to the fucking Ursaluna down.
That's... the Weather Ball did so much damage.
Absolutely. 67% up from a fucking Torkoal. That's crazy. Dondozo going to go ahead and join us out on the field. Makes me think that this Indeedee is going to go ahead and switch out for the Tatsu. But we shall see. He did call it Raid Boss after all.
True. Interesting to see the Raid Boss come out so early. Here comes Tatsugiri.
Yep, Tatsugiri Commander going to go ahead and go in and raise all of its stats. And protect on that just to make sure that it's not dealing a whole lot of damage immediately. Solar Beam going to go ahead and come out. It's not going to have any recharge due to Sun. And of course, Gyro Ball not going to do any more damage either.
Yeah, doubled into Protect there. Koak not banking on the Tatsugiri swap. Another Solar Beam.
Yep, Solar Beam onto it, going to go ahead and take it down a good bit, as well as the Gyro Ball, but not enough to take it down fully. Order Up going to deal about 35%. Not a whole lot. Manages to raise its attack, though. And Koak doesn't really have any way to shut that down in terms of haze or anything like that. So this thing really is going to be a fucking raid boss, especially with leftovers.
Potential double Protect coming up.
Protect on raid boss, the Dondozo, to just make get as much profit off of this leftovers as possible. Kind of pulling a similar strat to what Koak was doing with Substitute in a previous game.
Yeah, for sure. And this Dondozo's pretty stacked right now.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Solar Beam going to take it down to 40%. Order Up. Going to deal a little bit more damage, 44%. One more is going to take out that Torkoal. But Sun goes down, meaning that this Torkoal is not going to be able to get off an immediate Solar Beam. If it's going to be doing it, it's probably going to be... it's going to be banking on it, and now it is stuck. It has to recharge next turn. So now, actually, does it still have to with Protect? No, I think it gets. It doesn't have to with Protect.
Yeah, just Absorb Light. It didn't actually.
Oh, right. It comes out T2, turn 2. 30% down on it. That superpower gonna take it down to 3%. An Order Up gonna just destroy the Honchkrow. 91% gone.
Good lord. 3.5 times attack on this Dondozo, by the way. Out comes the Dusknoir.
Yep, absolutely. But with, you know, only 9% left on it, even with getting these lefties, you know, 15% with the leftovers. But how much is he really going to be able to do there? Uses Earthquake, gets the Torkoal down, and almost kills the Dusknoir. Manages to get Trick Room up, but how slow is Bronzong? And actually, definitely slower than is that a double protect? No, got EQ last turn.
Got EQ'd last turn.
Yeah. Thunder Punch and Stealth Rock gonna go ahead and go in, but obviously not do any damage there to the Dondozo with protect. Gyro Ball and Thunder Punch. Ooh, gonna take it down. That last little bit of HP they healed with leftovers wasn't enough to keep it in. But of course now we have Iron Hands joining us on the field. Koak doesn't really have much offensive capabilities on his team anymore.
No, not at all. This Bronzong is rocking Gyro Ball, Earthquake in terms of offense. Dusknoir running Poltergeist, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch. Really, only the EQ, I believe, packs any kind of real damage threat here to this Iron.
Yeah,
Hand.
and with Iron Hands joining us on the field, there's definitely going to be a fake out coming here, probably onto the Dusknoir. Actually, doesn't do it, goes for a Wild Charge instead. I don't also know why I thought that a fucking fake out was going to go into a Ghost type. But Wild Charge onto the Dusknoir is going to take him out completely.
I was just going to let you cook with that, to be honest.
Well, I'm cooking meth, apparently. Drain Punch onto the Bronzong, going to take him down just a little bit more, but not enough quite to take it down. But, you know, Bronzong's really staring down the barrel of a fucking gun here with not much left on Koak's side to be able to withstand this.
Goes off. Out comes an EQ, and I believe one more Drain Punch is gonna wrap this one up.
Yep, Drain Punch gonna go ahead and take it out. Yeah, we'll see if Koak's able to pull it back. You know, he's kind of seen what Dream's team is able to accomplish, but you know, we'll see if maybe he's able to do one last thing with it.
Koak, you're not human, I swear, he said.
Dream really is, like, he's champion for a reason. You know, pretty sure Koak was in that tournament that in our last championship tournament as well, and I think he made it to top 3 or top 5. So he did pretty good, even with sporting a full Gen 4 team, and he's really been cranking on the server. He asked me to battle all the time just to try out his team. So Koak is definitely training and getting better and better as time goes on. Like I said, he won our last monthly melee, but you know, with Dream being trained, or you know, he trains in Showdown all the time. You know, he knows this shit like the back of his hand. He is one of our league reps after all. Definitely knows what he's doing. So it's gonna be whether Koak's training is gonna pay off against, you know, Dream's expertise. We'll see which Pokemon lead this time. Goes ahead and goes for the Indeedee female and the Iron Hands against the Bronzong Honchkrow. Pretty obvious play from Koak. You know, he's led with these Pokemon before and it's worked out pretty well. But I'm just not sure how much this Honchkrow is going to be able to do. I definitely feel like this is going to be a switch from the Honchkrow to get the fuck away from this Iron Hands.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Out comes Helping Hand. Superpower into the Iron Hands. Not doing a whole lot of damage. Wild Charge takes off the Honchkrow.
Especially not against the Wild Charge. Yep, Trick Room goes up from the Bronzong. You know, twist the dimensions, but again, not really able to get too much out with this, with both teams kind of having slow Pokemon. Breloom, once again, not a good play here because of how slow it is. Could potentially withstand, the electricity from Iron Hands. Spore gonna go ahead and go out onto the Indeedee, but not able to do much with the safety goggles. So good play there with the Whimsicott having safety goggles, and also with the Follow Me, keeping it off of Iron Hands.
Oh, out comes the substitute. Iron Hands heals off of it.
Yep, takes out the substitute immediately. Follow Me once again coming out from the Indeedee and takes a Gyro Ball. Substitute once again coming out just to kind of try and keep this Breloom around for a little bit longer, but again, Iron Hands takes it out, healing off of it.
Yep, and important to note, Substitute cannot come back out.
Yep, doesn't
there's
have...
not enough HP to create it.
Yep. Ursaluna's going to join us out on the field. Takes a Gyro Ball like a fucking champ. Spore goes on to the Iron Hands, putting it to sleep. Gets a Poison Heal off on the Breloom.
Breloom back in substitute range. Curious if we're going to see that pop out again. Nope, Focus Punch
goes
charging.
for Focus Punch instead, but immediately goes down to a Facade.
That was a bold decision with the
very
Ursaluna
bold, yeah.
Rampardos hits the board. Ursaluna still has Facade, access to Earthquake. Headlong Rush.
Headlong Rush is going to destroy Rampardos. Put that fucking fossil back in the ground.
Iron Hand's still asleep. I didn't realize this was Gen 1 sleep in play.
He's just fucking snoozing on him. He's like, fucking Ursaluna came out, Scary Gary joined the fucking field and was like, nah bro, I got this, don't worry, take your fucking nap. Weather Ball gonna take Scary Gary out to make him a little bit less scary. Gyro Ball gonna do just a little bit of damage to Heavy Hands, but, you know, immediately wakes up after that.
Yeah, for sure. Iron Hands healed back up to 90% here. Out comes the Indeedee, out comes Psychic Surge.
Yep, back onto the field once again. Koak does have this Torkoal, which we've seen do some pretty good fucking damage. However, Dream's still rocking that Dondozo Tatsugiri combo. I don't think that that Koak's gonna be able to do it here. You know, Eruption goes ahead and comes out and knocks out the Indeedee. Gyro Ball onto the Heavy Hands to deal a little bit more damage, but not enough quite to even get it down to 50%. And Drain Punch is going to heal just a little bit more back.
Out comes Dondozo. Are we going to see the Iron Hands swap into Tatsugiri? Up comes Protect.
Protect on the Dondozo. Solar Beam onto the Dondozo as well as a Gyro Ball. You know, really wanting to get that thing off the field, but not before Iron Hands takes that Torkoal out.
Out comes the Dusk Noir, and it's 2v4 team versus team here. There's Tatsugiri coming out.
Yep, gets the order up off on the Dondozo. Definitely wanted to see that last that Dondozo see a final finish here. Gets the EQ off, but doesn't deal a whole lot of damage to Dondozo. 71% and already getting those boosts up. Gets another order up and takes out the Dust Noir. Gyro Ball just not enough to really do a whole lot of damage to this Dondozo. And a Wave Crash gonna completely finish the game.
GG, both competitors here. Dondozo, Raid Boss and Freddy Fish.
Raid Boss and Freddy Fish.
Pulling it across the finish line.
Yep, absolutely. Congratulations to not just Dream, our current champion and reigning champion, but all of our competitors as well for joining us here today. You know, we'll definitely be back for some monthly melees here soon. But you know, Dream once again proving why he's champion and why he's one of our best league reps that we have on the team. We'll definitely see how much longer he's able to stick around as a champion, and then see also what our next competitive rule set's going to be for this next season.
Yeah, I've got several ideas to throw out here for this next rule set, so we'll see if we can't shake things up a little bit for everybody.
Oh, absolutely. Personally, I think it's going to be mega fun, regardless of anything.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's get Dream back in here. See how he's feeling after the match.
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull him in here real quick. Hey, Dream, welcome in. How you feeling about that last match? You kind of took it home.
Well, The raid boss doing raid boss things. That thing's crazy.
Yeah, Dondozo, absolutely sick. I speculated before, and I was kind of like looking over your team recently because one of the most meta things that I've seen people do recently, even as far back as I think one of our first impromptu championship tourneys that we did back in the day in Vulkan's lifetime was Toxic Orb Tatsugiri. I'm surprised that you didn't go with a similar strat to that.
I think I preferred having my Tetsugiri alive as like a 6th mon. I don't really like sacrificing it. Sometimes you... So the Toxic Orb's normally paired with something that can like Psych Up, or Co-Star is really the one with Flamigo. Steal or copy your stats from your Dondozo after your Tetsugiri's gone. But, I like having the Tetsugiri alive. You know, mine had Taunt, mine had Draco and Muddy Water. It had purpose. It could do some things. It didn't here, but in theory, it could do some work if it needed to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all right. Well, that's gonna go ahead and do it for us today. Dream continues being our reigning champion. If anybody wants to join Cobblemon Vulkan, see if they can dethrone him, or is just interested in competitive Pokemon in general, or even just wants to cheer on some of their favorite competitors, cheer on Dream, or maybe even Koak, or Godkid, or anybody, feel free to join Cobblemon Vulkan. Link's going to be in the description below. Feel free to join in. Now's the perfect time to start playing this month, till the end of March. We're doing shiny starters, so now's the perfect time to join Cobblemon Vulkan if you haven't already. Alright, everybody. See you guys next time.